Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mindful Reality TV from a mental health perspective. I am I am frustrated this morning. Nobody listens to me at work. The thing with my job, I've said this to you guys before, and I think you're starting to understand this. We are given a caseload that we are expected to manage those people. And you might think the management of those people just involves your managing of caseload needs. You might think that it's just, okay, I have these 40 people and my management of them is just taking care of their case, taking care of the needs for their case, like taking care of their scheduling their doctor's appointments, their transportation appointments, helping them apply for housing, SSI, all the stuff that a case manager does. You might think that that's basically what you're managing. That probably is the case for a case manager that doesn't see their clients 2 times a month and doesn't have a caseload as big as the one that I have, right? You're managing other things too. You're managing expectations. You're managing their emotions. You're managing when you go and you find that they're in a bad mood. For an example, I have this person that frustrates me. And it's not because of their needs. It's not because of their requests. It's because of their inconsideration. This client is extremely inconsiderate, and I don't like that. And when I say extremely inconsiderate, extreme means extreme. Because 60% of my caseload is at least mildly inconsiderate. So for me to say extreme, I mean it's irking my nerves. For an example, the person tells me, hey, I can only meet at 8:30 in the morning because I have so many important things to do for the day. I can only meet at 8:30, and they tell me that the day before. I try to schedule my appointments with these people up to 2 weeks in advance. Hi, Tristan. So to tell me you only have this time, I log in at 8 o'clock. So to get there at 8:30 means that I have to be up earlier than usual because I have to be up and prepared to be out of my house exactly when I clock in, maybe even a little bit before, and then I clock in on the road in order to ensure that I can get to this person's place at an exact time. So I shoot a message to this person because I was running a little bit late. And when I say a little bit, right, I said I'll be at your house approximately 8:40 rather than 8:30. They're like, 8:40, Mark? We agreed for 8:30. So how do you think it's okay to show up at 8:40? If you're not going to be here at 8:30, then just don't show up. And I'm sitting here like, first and foremost, I am accommodating your schedule. This appointment was not on my schedule. I have a full schedule as I do every day. Y'all know I'm always in this car. I have a full schedule every single day. So I squeezed you in. Good morning, Ed. I squeezed you in the morning God forbid, I'm 10 minutes out of your room, don't come. Now, my management created a monster in this person because they gave this person a direct line of communication to them. So it's like they don't have to play by the rules. They don't have to respect my boundaries. Like, for instance, if this person is now to go say, which I'm sure will undoubtedly happen, they'll reach out to my supervisor, as they always do. Hey, Mark said that he was going to come here at 8:30, and then he said that he was running late and that he wouldn't be able to get here till 8:40, and I had such important things to do that he couldn't be 10 minutes late. So can you please tell him to show up another day at my choosing? It's like, you're going to be treated like a hostage at that stage. Because if I can tell them no, and no means no, which should be ultimately what happens, then there's going to be no more of this back and forth. You're going to accept that sometimes it could be any number of reasons why I'm not able to show up at that time. You don't know if I'm caring for a sick family member. You don't know if I'm not feeling well myself, which I'm actually not. You don't know if, you know what I mean? Like, it's communication. Because we're not robots, especially when you're talking about driving all over the place to do home visits. There's variables, man. And today I had enough of this person, and I let this person know. Like, even though I know eventually this is going to be a conversation that bleeds over to my supervisor, as it always does. And supervisor validates the person, as that person always does also. I know all of that. But at this point, I said to myself, before I even responded, it's time for me to just take a stand. I have been taking a stand, but it's time for me to take a strong stand and to let my supervision know you're enabling these people and empowering them and emboldening them to just treat you any kind of a way. And I'm not for that. I'm not a person who puts on a badge and is like, oh, because this thing is around my neck, you can talk to me any kind of way, you can treat me any kind of way, and you can act any kind of way. You don't even have to be thankful. Just leave the attitude at the door, man. Like, the way that I feel when somebody treats me, somebody who has me due to Medicaid. I'm not even trying to sound away, because I had Medicaid for a number of years myself, but you qualify to have me seeing you because of Medicaid, and you're treating me like I'm supposed to be your personal assistant. The math ain't mathin' with that one. And so I let the person know. I'm like, hey, if you seem to be consistently dissatisfied with what I bring to the table, but fortunately for you, there's options. You have other people that can service you. They said, oh, did I say that I want other people to service me? And I said, no, but I'm just letting you know, I can't be a minute late. You have this thing in your head where I have to respond call within a certain amount of time, even though you are entitled to an exact amount of calls per month. We have an explicit contract with these people that gives us the amount of communications and visits that they are supposed to receive. Anything extra is at your own discretion. But because of the management that I have, the clients have learned how to flip the system to where they will call the management directly and explain why their need is so urgent to receive further communications. And trust me, I'm not legalistic like that. I do have people that I don't call and visit an exact time. There's people that I will go and my billing is done for the month, and then I'll go again because there's something else that they needed. I'm big on respect. When people treat me respectfully and show like an ounce of appreciation, I always go the extra mile. But when people start talking to me on some, you have to do this and you have to do that, you're my worker, so you're supposed to do this, that, and the other, like, get out of here. I think that's been one of the worst parts of my experience as a case manager, especially as a traveling case manager. I always had jobs where, in this field anyways, where I just go into my office, people schedule the visits, they come to me. The onus for everything is on them. You want my help? You show up to my office, you get an exact amount of time, you're aware of that time. When it's done, okay, next person. Your half an hour visit is over, so now I have to take the next person. My phone rings and I tell that person, okay, we can schedule for next week. They didn't call me. We didn't have phones for them to call me up. The only complaint that would happen is if they complained about something that I said in session. And that's fair. I mean, I don't believe that I ever had a complaint. I think I had one complaint, but it was just based on a misunderstanding. But I'm very professional, so... Jeez, man. When you're doing home visits, too, the other part about that is it's always your word against their word. Sometimes these people will just call up your supervision and lie. And it's like, they don't take up for you. They just assume that that thing that the person is saying is the truth. And I'm like, this is not a common experience that I've had. At other places, the clients would have to provide an extraordinary amount of evidence to my supervisor for the supervisor to now think that I did all these things that this bitter client is accusing me of. Like, I have to see the evidence. And then at the very least, after they talk to me, they don't even say, oh, let me talk to Mark and, you know, get to the bottom of this and then have a conversation with me, figure out if it's true. No, they just take the word for it straight up. That kills me. Because a client talking crazy about me, they have nothing to lose, man. They can literally wake up in the morning and be like, I wish that Mark didn't have a job. So let me contact his supervisor and say things that will make that happen. The first time that happened to me, I didn't even know how to manage those emotions. I still don't, but I'm a little better at it. But the very first time, I had an hour-long meeting with my supervisor. She gave me a list of things that I allegedly said to this client. A list of things that I didn't work on with this client. Maybe one or two of those things had a grain of truth to them. Like she took a couple of things that I said and sensationalized the hell out of them to where they sounded like something completely different than what I said. And that happened a couple of times, right? But everything else was completely fabricated. And I'm sitting here having to prove myself, like, why? I'm working with a population that a lot of them are homeless, a lot of them are on substances, a lot of them have what is categorized as a serious mental illness, as a diagnosis. And I'm not saying that that means that they could not ever say anything that's true, but it also is something that for sure should be taken into account when that person is calling you and telling you all these different things about your worker who is out in the line of fire doing a job where you pretty much risk your life every day on the job. Because when they're coming into an office, it's not the same kind of risk as you're going into the projects, meeting them where they are. You're meeting them at the homeless shelter. Some of them, you're meeting them literally outside because they don't have a home. You're finding them outside. You don't know what they have on them. It's just like, come on, man. Come on, man. And the things that I'm saying fall on deaf ears consistently, and I'm so tired of it. I'm seriously tired of it. We get into 2025. Like I said, I'm strongly working on my alternatives, and my next thing is just not going to be this. This is my last case management job. It's my last one. I don't like the job. I don't want the job. I don't enjoy the job. Listen, I hate to even be in this space after yesterday, just telling you about these two clients that I had yesterday that were telling me how grateful they are for me, you know. But the bad outweighs the good. I said, even yesterday, I said, that's about 20% of the time that I experience that. 80%, I experience the Wicked Witch of the West, like what I'm dealing with this morning. And it negatively impacts my mental health because I don't like being in this space. I hate being in this space. And the reason I titled this is, as I'm a patient person, is it takes me a while to even get here. It does. But every human has a breaking point. Every human being has some kind of breaking point, and I'm like on the fringe of mine. So I'm just gonna do my best to get through this work day. I have an event coming up this evening, but I don't have that zen right now. It's still early, so I'm hoping that at 4 o'clock I'll be able to shut this all right off and return to a happy place, because I'm not there right now. There's no happy place for me right now. I'm pissed. And this is a case like 3 to 4 days every single week. It's just not healthy. It just isn't. All right, y'all, I'm hopping off. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I drop some more great content. Thank you all. Enjoy your Friday.